Hi, welcome to Codes of Harmony. Thank you for being here. It has been a hot minute. Okay, how are we looking, right? Now, as we begin, let me just say, I have a feeling that this may be a very important message. Series of messages, right? And Spirit is telling me there will be some highly sensitive messages contained in this tarot reading. So, is that good? Is that good? It's cues. You know, if YouTube paid properly, I would totally have a professional setting, but apparently, for some reason, they're refusing to let my channel grow. And if you know my work, you know that I have a problem with discrimination. So let's open up the space. Let me get my antenna out. And the music you're hearing in the background is not my own. This is copyright-free music that can be found at Pixar Bay, which is a website that has copyright-free music. You may be a channel, you may have a channel. All right. There we go. Is that perfect enough? Shout outs to all the Virgos out there. So, there's something about someone wanting to, what's the word? Throw stones and hide their hands. I feel like that might be from the Bible, but I'm not sure. Throwing stones and hiding your hands to me speaks about a certain level of shame. So it seems like there's definitely some people in your life, or some, it feels like a lot of people. For some of you, it'll be multiple people. This may be connected to your workplace. This may be in your family. This may be a specific person. Please only take what resonates, leave what does not. Yada, yada, yada. All right. Let me just get my cards ready. It's late night where I am. Don't know about you. I don't know where you are. Ooh. Seven. Seven's a good number. Okay. I'm just going to pray for a moment to call in some good energy. I pray to Bayami, the sky father of my people. I pray to the rainbow serpent, the water bearer of my peoples. And I pray to Mother Gaia. I call in angelic protection over my table, over my home, over my family, over my life, over my vessel, over my etheric body, over my astral body, over my lineage and my future. The bully boys, the bully boys. I'm hearing the bully boys are mighty upset. They didn't get their conquest. Maybe some of you are musicians, some of you might be tarot readers, some of you may be content creators, some of you may be artists. I've had a lot of that coming through on this channel recently, here at Codes of Harmony. Gosh, I sure have been doing this for a while. And for some reason, YouTube just refuses to allow my channel to organically grow. It's very strange. So some of you may be experiencing discrimination in your workplace. You may be finding that you are in a very unsafe working environment. Something about structures falling down. I'm seeing the Tower card in my mind's eye. Something about the color purple and a few ties. Of course, that could be spiritual ties, that could be etheric ties, or it could be like, you know, a fashion accessory. Accessory. I feel like I've heard that in like Law and Order as well, being an accessory to a crime. Well, the bully boys, they're mighty upset. The bully boys, they didn't get their conquest. They've even been brought to shame because they didn't know the name of Freya, Sekhmet, Diana, Aphrodite, Rhiannon, Truganini, who was an Aboriginal warrior. Wow, big energy, y'all. Let's get started. Yeah, some of you may be experiencing people trying to bully you out of your workplace, and something about there being history-making changes that could potentially save the day is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that song, Meet Me in the Middle. That seems like a really popular song. You know, this thing's been coming through to me. Gosh, so many channeled messages. Let's get you a few cards to start with, right? I keep seeing this scene that happens in heaps of movies. And I think it was in a movie that I watched in the last few months. Where, like, what happened? It was like these criminals got somebody and they were trying to, like, torture them to get information out of them, right? And they kept saying to this person, if you give us this information, we'll let you go free, you know? And then, of course, after a long extended period of torture, when the person gave them the information, they just, you know, took them out, you know? And so there's something about vital information coming through. And something about being an accessory to a crime. I love this meditation. Please give me clear, divine discernment as I bring in these channeled messages for the collective. I feel a lot of love, and I feel a lot of it's interesting, like I just heard the pain of the masculine collective, right? And I am not gender conforming in any way, which seems to anger people quite a lot, particularly people that are kind of trapped in a certain binary, trapped in a certain kind of cage of the mind, if you will. Conflict with Stibnite. Oh, can you see that? What should I do? Let's bring a little bit more light. Can you see that? What should I do, hey? What should I do? Yeah, if you're experiencing bullying in your workplace or any kind of discrimination, know that it is not your fault, and that what is required is for everybody to come together and stand up to the oppressors, the abusers, or whoever is the instigator within your workplace, right? This seems to be about workplace, but for a lot of you, it'll be your family. There's so many channels that talk about narcissists, that talk about, abusive families, but really something about the viewer, something about the watcher. And watchers is something that there's been comic books about watchers. There's watchers that are connected to fae, fairy lineage, fairy folklore. And then there's watchers that are somehow connected to time, right? And then we have Argates, healthy body. Yeah, healthy body. You may be going through a level up at this stage. You may be having some kind of transformation. Just make sure I've got enough. Oh, perfect. Oh, the bully boys, they're mighty upset 'cause they didn't get their conquest. I'm hearing a lot of people have been harmed in this process. There's been a lot of people harmed, and what needs to happen is for people to come together. Something about unity. I'm seeing a big peace sign, which is interesting because the channeled message that came through with this is the peace healer. Beautiful. Brazilianite with flexibility. Can you see that? Can it go closer? Oh, what should I do? I know. Hold up. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Is that better for you? Okay, gorgeous. Got a little altar reading going. I feel the need to say, don't be scared, right? So something about that movie scene is coming through with this healthy body, flexibility, and conflict. And something about that scene that I was mentioning, where the criminals say one thing and promise one thing, and then, unalive that person, right? And there's something coming through about the unofficial internet Epsteins, is what I'm hearing. And there's a lot of masculines that are realizing they are not that dissimilar from Epstein and the many men mentioned. And something about thinking that they had a lamb they were taking to the slaughter and didn't realize they had actually caught a lion who was fierce in ways that they could never imagine because of their own caged thinking. Oof. I want to repeat, there's some sensitive messages here. So if you're too sensitive at this time, you're welcome to pause. You can always come back and check it another time. Is that the right eye line? Well, oh, yeah. I feel like that's okay. I'm hearing the name Morgan, Morgana. Morganite is also, I believe, a certain type of gemstone or crystal. I was reading this beautiful book last night. I put some of it up. If you want to check it out on my channel, you can. A beautiful book that I was reading about, oh yeah, past life, lapis lazuli. I keep thinking I need to get some lapis lazuli. I had some before, obviously. What else did I need? Let me put a little sticker right here. Oh, which sticker should I choose? I can feel a kind of nervous energy coming through. It's like I want to comfort you, but I can also feel that there's other things that we need to do. Yeah. And I'm hearing something about the Cayman Islands. Where is the Cayman Islands even? And something about hidden bank accounts. And somebody who didn't really believe in magic until this year, I'm hearing. That's really interesting. Who could that be? I want to say there's a few different energies going on here. Some of the energies didn't realize what they were part of, or don't realize what they're part of. Some of these energies have manipulated. There's definitely some black magic going on, or as I like to say, bad magic, dark magic. There's definitely something going on about wiring, something about cords, something about connections. You might have an etheric cord that you need to do some kind of cutting with. You may have a past life connection that has come back around into your realm. Lapis lazuli speaks of past life. The color blue may be significant. And yeah, the unseen, unofficial internet Epsteins. The onlookers, the watchers. Tell us about the watcher frequency. Let's get one more of these precious resources. Yeah, Burgee stones. Okay. Balance. Balance between past life knowledge, past life wisdom, and earthly experience. The reality that you're in. The reality of what you've done, the reality of what you've invited, the reality of what you pushed, and the reality of, I'm hearing a chain of events, right? Chain reaction kind of frequency. I'm seeing a stone rippled in the water. And these stones are actually known as shaman stones. And that's so funny because a lot of what I was reading last night was about being a shaman and the magic powers of shamans and healers. So who is this peace healer? Peace healer. It's so beautiful. What's that thing about assumptions? Something about assumptions. Tanzanite. With clarity. Azurite. With expanded awareness. And I'm hearing somebody say, many thought that they loved me, but actually just wanted to own me and control me. That gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, let's get some tarot messages for the collective. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're not going to get to run away is what I'm hearing. You don't get to just disappear and run away. The Page of Swords, something about consent, something about flowers, something about viruses as well as coming through. Expanded awareness. something, and this, there's an element of like the teacher is the student is the teacher, and then there is a master who must be acknowledged correctly, is what I'm hearing. We then have the Four of Pentacles, which is about somebody that's so funny because I just said the thing, that quote that I just heard channeled in my mind, that many have thought that they loved me, but really just wanted to own me. And that's the frequency, isn't it? That is the frequency. I'm using this gorgeous candle that has an angel on it. I don't know if you can see that. So you have lots of angels around you at this time. We then have the Four of Swords, which speaks of resting. I love the stained glass in that image. I've always loved stained glass. Please give me clear. Messages for the collective. Wow, this is some heavy energy. Something about a garden and something about a mini cult that is part of a much larger cult. Something about Africa is coming through. Buenos Dias, I just heard. Buenos Dias. Please give me clear. Yeah, come down off your high horse. We got the Emperor coming right on through. The Emperor, that is Aries energy. The Emperor is known to have all of the frequencies and the potential energies of all of the kings in the tarot deck. So the swords, the cups, the pentacles, and the wands. Please give me clear and divine guidance. And the Justice card falls to the floor. In a lot of science fiction books, there is other worlds, other planets, other dimensions where gender is in no way as restrictive as it is on this planet. I'm seeing a glass ceiling shatter, and then I'm seeing that turn into a crystal ball, and then I'm seeing that turn into a screen, and I'm seeing that turn into like a neon flashing sign. Something about Wall Street is coming through. We got the Star card. I love that frequency. Something about Norway is coming through. I'm seeing a beautiful library. Gosh, I love a library. And it's such a weird, slippery, slimy frequency. And it's something about duality is also going on here, because there's definitely one side of the equation who... No, let me put that a different way. It's like people that did not know they were linking themselves to this unofficial internet Epstein. So it's not an Epstein, like it's not actually the Epstein files, but it's like yeah. And if somebody has something to say, like if you have something to say to somebody, if you need to apologize to somebody, if you need to make something right, then you need to do that, you know, with your whole chest, as they say. You need to do that in person. You need to do that directly. You need to do that off your high horse, right? Yeah. What other messages do we have for the collective? The Peace Healer. The Peace Healer. Somebody here has something that is an incredibly precious resource. And it's like that energy of, this happened to my peoples, to Aboriginal peoples, where, and it happened to Indigenous peoples all over the world, where colonizers come and they, for example, I think it was Nam or Melbourne that was quote unquote bought, right? Bought off Aboriginal people by using a contract that was written in English. And of course, the Aboriginal people during colonization, that colonization, anyways, they didn't speak or read English, so they couldn't read the contract. And it was basically these colonizers claimed that they had bought the land off the Aboriginal people for, I think it was a hatchet, like an axe, a little axe. I studied this when I was doing a art residency in Melbourne once. And a few blankets and like some bags of flour, I think, like little objects. And they just thought these people are so stupid that they don't, you know, they're so uncivilized, these brown people, that and obviously I don't agree with this at all, so don't go edit that up, please. I mean, that wouldn't work, would it? Anyway, so the colonizers thought that the Aboriginal people in Nam were so stupid that, and that they would not know the value of their own land, of their own waterways, of their sacred places, of their sacred connection to the land. And of course, it's just completely a lie, completely criminal. And they just thought these people were so uncivilized that they could just basically steal the land, right, off Aboriginal people. And that's happening in this. I'm getting this imagery of this slimy, like sticky, like slippery, gross, and very guilty energy. But it keeps twisting and like turning, I guess, like the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know why YouTube won't let my channel grow. It seems quite bizarre. Sometimes I get hundreds and hundreds of people watching. Yeah. Yeah, somebody wants to be able to be seen as a hero. And it's for some of you to be one person, for some of you to be lots of people, for some of you to be an entity, for some of you to be maybe a ghost, maybe a spirit. There's some frequency of desperately wanting the horrific harm that has been caused in some kind of situation to be forgotten and almost erased from history, but that doesn't happen. You know, we all need to wow. Now I'm seeing the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah. And there's something about, I keep thinking about this scene that was in Lara Croft Tomb Raider, Cradle of Life, I think it was. And it was this scene that happened. I don't know if I've spoken about this. I feel like I channeled this before in this space, where there's like these evil people who are on a plane, on a little plane, which is interesting considering the channeled message before I had about, you know, private jets, obviously. And they're all on the plane, and this one guy is showing off this like not cyber, excuse. Who's talking? Hush down now. Or if you need to say something, say it. Yeah? Yeah, something has to be brought out into the open. Something has to be brought out of the shadows, out of the secrecy. And there's a power dynamic that's gone on here in this. For some of you, it's a past life. For some of you, it's got something to do with maybe some kind of coven, some kind of spiritual group, maybe a medicine circle. Yeah, and something about being flown around the world. Yeah. And masculines needing to cry and be vulnerable. Which is such a something that, you know, I respect personally. I I think that that's like one of the bravest thing a man can do or a masculine can do, right? Okay, let's get a few more cards. Mm. She's not doing what we want her to do. Again, she's not doing what we want her to do. So strange. This is such a flippin' weird energy. And the Justice card has just come out again. Yeah. So something about justice needs to take place. That's very evident. Can we get some advice for you? No, Spirit's saying that you're going to know exactly what has to happen, even if you don't like it. Oh, big energy. But these little, what would you call these things? I don't even know what these are. Where did these come from? It's like, I guess, like a puzzle piece with words and stuff on it. Let's see what comes out. Some kind of sluggish entity. Sluggish, maybe you've been feeling sluggish. Maybe your internet is sluggish. Maybe you have some kind of connection to some alien race that has like a slug frequency. Amphibian as well. So we have what have we got? Oh, okay. Got quite a bit to work with here. So we have slug coming through. We have light coming through. Let me see. Do you need a little bit more? Do you need to zoom in a little bit? Yeah. So we got slug coming through. Light coming through. Can you see that? Bam. We have watched. That's so freaky, isn't it? I've never seen this before. I've never used these before. That is so freaky because watched is what we were talking about, right? About the watcher. I need to look back into the definition of the watcher energy. If you know, you're welcome to do whatever you want. Then we have knot coming through, as in a knot. So yeah, there's somebody who's like, there's something about ties, something about cords. Yeah, I'm hearing somebody say they have the best intentions, but the reality is that it's like so much more complex. There's some broken, fractured duality that is going on. And somebody is being taught something. This could be happening to multiple of you. This could be happening to somebody you know. You might be teaching somebody something. You might be learning from somebody. Obviously, cross watchers are welcome here. And then we have the I'm seeing hungry come out. Hungry. So you could be from Hungary, like you could be Hungarian or hungry. Somebody's hungry for somebody's energy. And do you see how it's like, that's actually quite creepy if you think about it. Watched, liked, knot, and it's like a rope, like somebody wanting to bind or tie somebody up. Hungry, which also makes me think about like that maybe something's about to happen. Maybe you're in Hungary, maybe you're journeying to Hungary, maybe you're Hungarian. Something like World War II might be happening or connected to something coming back around. And something about a virus, but it's like a glitchy. This is so hard to describe. I'm really good usually at describing things that I cannot. And look at that. Little cat. Cute little pussy cat. It's kind of creepy, guys. And it's sad because there is definitely some kind of sense of an illusion or a lie or a manipulation of the truth that has taken place here. And the goddesses are not happy with what has happened here. And the watchers, because the watchers aren't necessarily, like if you think about a watcher, what is a watcher? I'm hearing somebody who would talk down and judge Epstein at the dinner table and then sneak off to their bedroom and watch. It's creepy, right? I think I'm going to do another reading because this energy is a bit heavier, right? Okay, see you in a minute.